Millionaire catches his fiancée humiliating the maid. What she did left everyone speechless. The grand chandelier sparkled above the marble hall as Ethan Carter, a young self-made millionaire, prepared to introduce his fiancée, Vanessa, to his extended family. Guests mingled in designer suits and gowns, laughter echoing through the estate. Ethan had worked hard for everything he owned. Growing up with a single mother who cleaned houses to keep food on the table, he never forgot the sting of being overlooked or humiliated. That's why tonight mattered. He wanted his family to see that he had built not only wealth but also a life filled with love. But in the middle of the celebration, a sharp, cutting voice sliced through the cheerful atmosphere. "How clumsy can you be?" Vanessa's shrill tone echoed across the dining room. Ethan's eyes darted toward the commotion. There, trembling by the long oak table, stood Maria, the maid. A tray of glasses had slipped from her shaking hands, shattering into 1,000 pieces on the floor. Vanessa stood over her, hands on her hips, face twisted with disdain. "You useless girl," she hissed, her voice loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. "Can't you do a simple job? No wonder people like you stay stuck in these lowly positions. Honestly, you're embarrassing this house." A stunned silence fell over the room. Maria's eyes welled with tears as she knelt to clean the shards, her fingers trembling dangerously close to the glass. Ethan froze in place, his chest tightening. He had heard his mother endure words like that when he was a boy, words that cut deeper than any blade. Memories of her calloused hands, her quiet tears after cruel clients berated her, rushed back to him. And now, the woman he thought he loved was speaking the same way. Before he could step in, something unexpected happened. Maria, still on her knees, paused. She lifted her chin and looked up at Vanessa. Not with anger, but with quiet dignity. Her voice shook, but it carried through the room. "I may be a maid, Miss Vanessa, but my work is honest. I take pride in serving others with respect, even if I don't always get it in return. I was raised to treat everyone with kindness, no matter their place. I'd rather have calloused hands and a clean heart than wear diamonds with cruelty." The entire room gasped. Maria's words hung in the air like a sacred truth. For a moment, even Vanessa faltered, her face flushing with embarrassment. Ethan's heart pounded in his chest as he realized the gravity of what just unfolded. His fiancée had revealed her heart, and so had Maria. Ethan stepped forward, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "Enough." He moved to Maria's side and helped her to her feet, his touch gentle. Turning to the guests, he said, "What just happened here is not about broken glasses. It's about broken respect. I know what it feels like to be treated the way Vanessa just treated Maria. My mother was a maid, and people looked down on her too. But she taught me something important. True worth isn't measured by money, status, or titles. It's measured by how you treat others." The crowd murmured in agreement. Ethan turned to Vanessa, his eyes firm. "I thought I knew you. But tonight, I see someone who looks down on others to feel taller. That's not the kind of woman I want to build a future with." His words were final, cutting deeper than Vanessa's insults ever could. She stood frozen, humiliated before everyone, unable to speak. But Ethan wasn't finished. Facing Maria, he said, "You have more grace and strength in your heart than most people I know. You reminded us tonight what real dignity looks like." Then, to the astonishment of all, he added, "From this day on, you won't be working as a maid. I'd like to offer you a full scholarship to finish your studies, and a position in my company when you're ready. Someone like you belongs in a place where kindness and integrity are valued." Tears streamed down Maria's face as she clasped her hands over her mouth, overwhelmed. The guests erupted into applause, many wiping their eyes. What began as a humiliating moment had transformed into something extraordinary. That night, Vanessa left in silence, her glittering dress a hollow disguise for a heart revealed in ugliness. Maria, however, stood taller than ever. She had been humiliated, yes, but her courage, her words, and her dignity had not only defended her but inspired everyone present. Ethan looked around at his family and friends, who nodded with respect. For the first time that evening, he felt that this gathering was truly a celebration, not of wealth or status, but of humanity. And as Maria whispered a trembling thank you, Ethan's heart swelled with pride. Not in his fortune, but in the reminder that the greatest wealth a person can ever have is compassion. Because in the end, it wasn't the chandelier, the marble floor, or the $1 million estate that people would remember, it was the maid who chose dignity over silence, and the millionaire who chose kindness over pride. And that choice, Ethan knew, would change lives forever.